Welcome to the show. My name is Ann Vivian. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy New Year. This is an exciting time. The new year presents with opportunities for change, opportunities for taking our manifestations to the next level. And that's what we're going to talk about today. It is a New Year's inspired theme, although this can be used at any time in the year. We're going to talk about creating channels of manifestation. And I'm going to pull a few cards at the end of the show for the energy of the week ahead. I'm going to give you, in between those things, in between the talk about the channels and the tarot for the week ahead, I'm going to give you some advice about how to create those channels for being able to manifest with more flow and ease. Thank you for joining me today. I want to invite you into this space. Take a deep breath. I invite you to take a deep breath. And know that as you are breathing, the earth is breathing with you. The stars are breathing with you. The cosmos, all of creation is breathing with you. And we are all connected. We are all one. And we are supported. Welcome to this space. Let's talk about it. I was inspired today by Spirit to explore goals and manifestation today. It's a natural theme around this time of year. The sun is in Capricorn, and it's a very Capricornian energy. Capricorn has to do with structure and goals and ambition and drive and all those Capricornian fabulous things. So I was meditating on today's podcast and I received a vision from Spirit, a vision of a rhinoceros plowing through all sorts of obstacles, just bulldozing his way through any kind of obstacle and achieving success. And I asked Source, of course, what does this mean? And I felt this was a metaphor for us needing to establish the channel, needing to establish this energy structure in order for the subtle intelligence and subtle energy and consciousness from the higher realms to be able to access our intentions and start to do its magic. If you think about the Fool in the tarot, the Fool is the first card in the tarot deck, and that picture shows a person about to take a step into, well, off of a cliff. It's a step into the unknown, and it looks like there might be some challenges involved with taking a tumble off of a cliff. But the metaphor there is you don't know what to expect. There might be some difficulties in the beginning of your journey, but it might be amazing. In the I Ching, one of the hexagrams is difficulty in the beginning, and it paints a picture of a sprout struggling to break through the surface of the soil, struggling to push through the top layer of the soil in order to form its stalk, its stem, and unfold as the plant. And it speaks about, as you might imagine, difficulty in the beginning, the archetypal experience of needing to invest more energy, time, intensity, tenacity, the rhinoceros and tenacity into the beginning of a project or the beginning of what it is that you want to manifest. So think about what you're wanting to manifest as a channel. If you already have an intention, you've already created that energetic channel. But think about what you want to manifest as a channel structure. And this channel structure connects you, your intention, with this higher consciousness that goes through really an automatic process in order to bring to you that which you are focusing on. It's really just following natural universal laws. But those natural universal laws, including the law of attraction, isn't going to work towards your benefit how you want if the channel hasn't been established. And when we think about this channel structure, we can think about in the beginning, it's more difficult, or putting it in positive, more positive, hopeful way, shall I? In the beginning, it takes more energy and focus and tenacity in order to establish a clear channel, in order to establish that foundation for this manifestation process to occur. So some of the things that might create a channel that isn't as effective is if it has blockages, if you haven't activated it. What are the blockages? Well, the blockages can be our fears, our beliefs that we are or are not in touch with, our lack of putting energy and focus and intention into this channel. And the channel can get kind of clogged up. The channel can be deactivated. So activate it. How do I activate it, Anne? Here's the secret. Here's the integrative mystic part. You focus on your intention, you clarify your intention, and then being able to activate the energetic channel involves a practice of resonating emotionally on the level of that intention. Having some sort of practice daily in which you are reflecting, you are meditating on your intentions, goals, dreams, visions, and you're not only thinking about it in a mental way, but you're imagining what it would be like to already be living the dream, already be living your manifestations and feeling the emotional quality of having achieved that goal. Now, when you can access that emotional state, you're now embodying that intention, that goal. It's no longer floating up here, you're embodying it. And this is very related to the energetic channel of which I speak. Once you do this on a regular basis, you are feeding that energetic channel, you're activating that circuit. And you will notice as the rhinoceros needed to plow through obstacles, hopefully he wasn't plowing through other creatures and beings and hurting them, but let's assume he's plowing through plants and debris. He's tenaciously persevering to get through any kind of distraction or anything in the way in order to create that clear path. So thinking about as you are meditating on your goals, dreams, visions, as you're vibrating on them, you're imagining, which when I say that, I mean emoting that feeling, what it's like to actually have achieved it. You might notice that it's hard for you to do that with certain goals, dreams, visions. And you might notice, oh, I have certain beliefs that I was not in touch with that are coming up that I perhaps need to program, some fears, some outdated beliefs. Maybe I'm thinking about what other people will think. Maybe I'm thinking about the changes I need to make if I actually create this in my life. And that's causing a little bit of a kink in this channel. Maybe I'm seeing some practical obstacles or some practical changes I would need to make. As you're aware of these different things getting in the way, these different little kinks and wrinkles, use your practice to take action to change things in order to create a clearer channel in your life, or work with those parts of yourself, work with those old beliefs that are tripping you up. And some of this might be connected with our behaviors too, that, a lot of times our beliefs and our fears and our unhelpful thought patterns are connected with behavior patterns that are not very effective. So you might want to work with someone else. You might want to do your own inner work, but be that rhinoceros. Understand that those resistances come up when we begin to do this work and establish the channel. As that little sprout is coming up against the resistance of that soil, that's a good sign. That means that you're actually doing it. When I work with a client who tells me, I realize that I have this fear about this, that, and the other, if I actually achieve this, I get excited because, once you're in touch with your fear, you can actually begin to work with it and reprogram it and take action to deal with it. And sometimes there's no action. Sometimes it's just repeating and trusting and coming back to that belief and that faith and that trust that works through the kink. There's different ways to overcome the resistance of the soil as you're sprouting your sprout. So that practice, though, of having a daily, hopefully, or some kind of very frequent practice of meditating on your goals and meditating on the feeling of achieving them is part of establishing this channel. Another way to establish a clear channel here is to actually make a commitment in your three-dimensional schedule. And here's the integrative mystic part. We're talking about not only this mystical practice of manifestation and the law of attraction and the energetic channel that you're creating on the astral planes. Also, we're talking about grounding it, bringing it down to the here and now. So we're talking about a practice of tuning in, a practice of visualization and embodiment of your dreams, goals, desires. And then we're also talking about grounding it in your schedule. So whatever kind of calendar or schedule you use to keep track of your day to day, or maybe you don't have one, this is a great time to start one. If it's on a device, electronic, or an old-fashioned one, if you can, commit to typing in or writing in your schedule actual times that you are, actual day and time actions that you are willing to take or try towards your goal, is another way of investing in this channel. And that could be anything from, I'm going to give an example of, I'll give an example of a big goal. Someone has a big goal of starting an equine therapy center. Equine therapy is horse therapy, horseback riding and interacting with horses in a therapeutic way. All right, so that's my goal. I want to establish a successful equine therapy center. Now, the first step would be to start to create this channel, is to meditate every day for a few minutes on what it would be like in order to have that dream come true, and to be able to work through what I need to work through and the resistances in order to get to the place where I can easily vibrate and easily emote that feeling of how great it would be to have this successful. What could I do with it? How joyful would it be? I'm helping others. I'm connecting with animals. That's step one. But when I'm talking about the schedule, I might decide I'm going to do some research on equine therapy. So in my schedule, I might write every Monday from 5 to 6, or if I'm having a smaller baby step, if I'm starting with a smaller step, I might say 5 to 5:30, I am going to research online or go to the library information on horses, equine therapy, and entrepreneurship. That's a hard word to say, by the way. Entrepreneurship doesn't roll off the tongue. I need to create an energy channel to say that word better. So I might also, another baby step I might add to my schedule is I might take a class in therapeutic horseback riding. And I might actually sign up for the class and write that in my schedule. What I'm doing is I'm grounding this idea in not only my emotion, not only my psychic vibration, my spiritual life. I'm grounding it in my routine. I'm grounding in other action in the world. And you might start with not very much outward action, but any kind of baby step is outward action. And what happens is, as you take that action, it's not only action in the three-dimensional world, it's action on the inner planes. So there's an echo of you focusing on the research of equine therapy, and that is now adding to this channel of energy. Your intention and the energy that you're putting towards it is growing. And probably as you begin to take these baby steps, you're also working through some resistances about what it would mean to actually manifest this. You're actually beginning to see this is not that hard. Oh, I can see a path to this now that I'm taking these steps and talking to these people and proving to myself that progress is being made. I'm feeling more confident. I'm seeing the results step by step. And now I'm getting some momentum with this channel. So I want to encourage you, my friend, think about, what have you started? What have you manifested this past year? Think about the energy channels you probably created to manifest that, and how you have added to that channel and worked through the blockages with your rhinoceros tenacity and perseverance, even perhaps. Imagine what didn't manifest that you'd like to manifest. And I'm in here with you. I didn't manifest everything I wanted to. I manifested some, but not all. But this is a great learning experience for me too. And I'm looking back on my yearly goals and manifestations and learning, what could I learn? What do I need to change in order to clear out that channel and activate the channel? And that's a great journaling prompt if you care to explore that through journaling. But you could just even, reflect on it and meditate on it. But try thinking about your intentions as this consciousness. It's a live consciousness that is waiting to be activated. And think about your manifestations as being connected with these energy channels. And hopefully this is something helpful to you to be able to clarify what you can do to continue your beautiful manifestations, take them to the next level, or start ones or resurrect ones that have been maybe a little bit less active this year. I am now going to transition into the reading of the collective energy for the week ahead. After I take my sip of water. All right, this is for January 15th, 2024. New year, new moon, new vibe, new chapter. I love the Capricorn just wave of ambition and structure. It helps me so much to be able to have the energy and focus and drive to actually look at my goals and clarify them. So I really appreciate this Capricorn vibe. It can be a little heavy. I know people get tired of the New Year's resolutions and kind of that heaviness and some of the not very helpful expectations that might be connected with that. But if you can think about the Capricorn vibration as that, the rhinoceros, the goat, that patience and perseverance, being able to establish a structure, being able to, the father energy, being able to work in this three-dimensional reality successfully to establish your enterprise, establish your kingdom. It can be a very, very beautiful, powerful vibe. And you don't have to do it harshly. I want to say one more thing. Now that I'm, of course, about to do the tarot reading, I have one more thought about the channel of energy, which I said before in the beginning, but I just want to say it one more time. Feel called to say it one more time. Once you establish that channel and you clear it out, it's much easier to use the channel. The channel is much easier used by you and the universe and this higher consciousness that's coming through. So know that, as the fool goes on his journey or her journey or their journey, there's a lot of other chapters, and many of the chapters are much easier and flow much easier. And the general idea is once you've established that energy structure, that channel, you don't have to put as much time and energy and intensity into it because it's already established. So think about building that foundation and know that it's not always as much of an energy investment. Okay. Tuning into the energy of this week ahead, what do we need to know, source? What do we need to know, angels and guides, for the week ahead? I feel Angel Metatron and Angel Sandalphon as I'm tuning into this collective energy. Angel Metatron is helping us to think big, higher mind, helping us to express our ideas, and helping us to tune out from those around us in the collective and social media, yada, 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 in our social circles, personal work, what have you, and to really be able to zone in and zero in on our heart center, on God consciousness, on our higher self. And there's that rhinoceros energy again, being able to just zero in, razor focus on the higher self, on the heart, on what is for your highest good. Ooh, something's falling out over here. Queen of Swords. Why did you jump ship like the fool? She just went on her fool's journey. Queen of Swords is jumping out. Clarity. And yet receptivity. Okay, pulling cards for this week. 10 of Pentacles, Hermit, 9 of Wands, and the 4 of Swords. Energy for this week. Yes. All right. So this week, I feel like we really are taking stock and taking steps this week towards making the grade, towards our goals, dreams, and desires. And there's a general focus on clarifying what's important to us. There's a general focus on moving the energy aside that is blocking us and refocusing on what is really in our best interest to move us forward. 10 of Pentacles, abundance. There's opportunities for abundance this week. Prosperity, manifestation. As we move this energy and let go of these obstacles and establish this channel, true abundance is available to us this week. The Hermit card is our challenge card. It's really important that we take time to center this week. It feels like there is some chaotic energy. It feels like there are distractions. There's some scatteredness. There's being aware of quote lower energies, feeling like you don't have the time. So taking time to tune in, to reflect, to connect with spirit is actually going to help you feel like you have more time to bend time and to another way of saying that, transcend three-dimensional time. But as I'm suggesting in today's show, you're going to be able to manifest what it is you want to manifest once you activate that channel. And you're not going to activate it by just being scattered and thinking, I should do this, or, that kind of lack of organization and lack of consistent tuning in to that place of consciousness. So invest in an easier flow of manifestation by investing in your practice of slowing down, investing in your practice of mindfulness, of your spiritual, whatever it is you do in your spiritual practice, to tune into your soul and tune into spirit. 9 of Wands is our guidance card this week, my friends. I feel like the message here is don't take no for an answer. We've got to be tenacious this week. I feel like spirit is guiding us to recognize things are falling into place. And it might be that we might feel a little impatient, some of us, but recognize that things are actually falling into place and understand that even if you don't see the full result right in front of you, that the gears are turning. And not to take things too seriously if there's just a little blip or a little hiccup in your schedule or in the day. 4 of Swords is our final result card for this week ahead, the week of January 15th. I feel like this is a week that is beckoning us. This is a time when spirit is beckoning us to make sure that we have time for reflection and time to slow down. And 4 of Swords is all about slowing down, reflection, turning within, making sure we have downtime, making sure we're getting enough sleep, taking care of our body, drinking enough water, eating nutritious food. It feels like there's just a lot of energy this week, and part of this is just grounding. Trust the Niggle is the Work Your Light Oracle card. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So, niggling feeling. I love it. So I feel like a message here is about tuning into your intuition and making sure that you're slowing down, being that hermit, taking the time for your spiritual practice, taking the time for connecting and grounding. And this is going to help you tune into your intuition and your instincts. And as you're doing that, it helps you understand what might not be obvious. It's a week of opportunities to see what might not be obvious and understanding the subtleties that could help you to make changes that would really take your manifestation to a higher level. So don't make decisions rashly. Don't judge by surface appearances. Keep some things to yourself. This isn't a week of oversharing or just speaking off the cuff. This is more of a week of reflecting and assessing. And we've got Judgment card coming out. And this is a good week to be able to get the information that will help you make more heart-centered, soul-centered decisions and have better judgment. There might be, I feel like there's a general kind of reckoning and a general kind of it's that feeling of assessing what no longer belongs, making peace with it, letting it go, making changes and moving to a higher level. And so know that you are moving to a higher level. This year, I feel we're going to be guided to make massive changes that will really individually and collectively just surprise us with the enormity and surprise us with how amazing our potential truly is. And right now in this chapter, I feel like taking a step back and assessing, reflecting, allowing before you make those big decisions is going to put you in a really powerful place to make decisions that you're feeling really good about, that are really going to work for you. Birthing a new age. Oh, can't make this stuff up. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So we need to wrap things up, shift gears, understand and assess before we can birth this new age, this new world. And so do the work, tune in as you're assessing your goals and your New Year's plans and your New Year's intentions. Pay attention to those energy channels, pay attention to your insights about what might and intuitions about what might be beneath the surface. It might not be obvious. You might need to read between the lines. And as you are able to see this, make changes, you're putting yourself in that position to be that thriving plant that unfurls and unfolds and blossoms in the sun and the moonlight. And you're able to be that adventurous, wise fool who tumbles down the mountain and is able to figure out through the help of her wits and through the help of spirit how to successfully pass through each level. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. I hope you got something from today's show. You can find this show, by the way, on Google, iTunes, Spotify, and of course, I post the video on my YouTube channel, Creative Psyche Studio. I have exciting things coming up this year. If you want to check that out, that's on my website, creativepsychestudio.com, and that's also my social media, Creative Psyche Studio. Psyche is spelled Psyche. Thank you again so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate your connecting with me. I hope you have a beautiful January. Please stay tuned for fabulous interviews I will be posting in January and February with awesome, amazing, inspiring people. I will see you in the next podcast group video or session. Take care.